How do I set my shell in Mac OS X? I know I can set shells open within the terminal preferences, but I'm curious if there's any system-wide way of setting this, similar to updating /etc/password in some Unixes.
Use the CHS utility like so. Apple has changed CHSH a bit on macOS X compared to the CHSH you'd see in Linux, for example. You can read up on theirs in the CHSH macOS X man page.
Note that you will only be allowed to change to a shell listed in /etc/shells. This is normally fine, but it means that if you want to install Bash 4, from Homebrew, MacPorts, or compiling your own, you need to add a line to /etc/shells. I ran into this a few weeks ago, and figured it might help others to know. Edit: Tim Smith points out that you can get around the /etc/shells limitation if you run chsh as root via sudo. For example, sudo chshs/user/local/bin/my_shell$user will work, even if my _shell is not listed in /etc/shells. I prefer to edit /etc/shells, but in the end, it's one use of sudo either way since you can't edit /etc/shells as a regular user. So perhaps 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
To do this using the Mac OS X GUI, open System Preferences. Open the Accounts, Users and AMP, Groups Preference pane and unlock the Preference pane if applicable. On the user you wish to change the shell, Ctrl+click or right-click on the user and choose Advanced Options. Where it says Login Shell, change this to the shell you wish to use. Of note, this location is where you can change your home directory, UID, user ID, group ID, and short name if you are uncomfortable with the terminal. There is a similar question located here as well.
Using the answers above, I was getting an error message. To work around this, who am I in a subshell is to change the shell for your user, not the root. One more thing if you're using Homebrew. When you run commands as root, using sudo, zsh points to /bin/zsh, which comes with OS and might be outdated. To use the up-to-date one that is installed via Homebrew, use the following.
If you want to support channel, please consider subscribing.